What's up, y'all? It's Calvin here, and I want to holler at you guys about the things that are going on in Afghanistan and what we can take from that situation and learn from it. But before I get to that, I just want to give you guys a little background that you may probably have not have heard of when it comes to the whole Taliban Afghanistan situation. And to start with, the U.S. government, they've been working with the Taliban for a very long time. They've actually recently had a top commander from the Pentagon, if I'm not mistaken. He is meeting directly with the Taliban officials, and they are working on a negotiation plan for evacuations. All right, so it's straight up and down. They're negotiating with terrorists. All right. And not only that, they fund these terrorists as well. And if you travel back in time to October 29th, 2001, there was a press conference. And at this press conference, there was a interpreter for the Taliban, and his name was Ahmad Ratib Papal. All right. And back in 1997, he actually got arrested for trying to sell some heroin in the U.S. I think it was New York, because that's where his brother also did time too. But anyway, long story short, he went to prison. He got out of prison, and you fast forward to 2009, and this guy's cousin was the president of Afghanistan. All right, so the dude was linked in and all of that, and able to put his hustle in, and he has a security firm that does was it a private security company, and it's also logistics and telecommunications. Okay. And this dude was able to parlay a contract with the U.S. government, and they know that they paying people that are suspected to be insurgents, but they still paying them. And the way that they word this whole situation is they really don't have a choice, their hands are tied. But if you look at the situation in Iraq, okay, they killed over 1 million people. All right, it wasn't no negotiating, wasn't now none of that. They saw what they wanted. They, worked out the Twin Tower situation, worked that out, and went to Iraq and just bombed the hell out of them, killed them, and went over there and took what they want. And to this day, that place is still devastated. It's in way worse shape than Afghanistan is. Way worse shape. Okay. And for whatever reason, these same people that have the same capability, because the U.S., they didn't do this by themselves. Okay. They had European countries with them. In fact, they had NATO countries, and this is not just one or two countries. Okay. This is quite a bit of countries. This is the whole of Europe plus America. And so there's a lot of different militaries that were involved. And here recently, Germany and Italy, they had just pulled out of Afghanistan, and Poland's last troops are just making it back home. And the U.S.'s troops are expected to make it out by September 11th, strangely enough. But if that wasn't enough proof that they was working together, we'll get you again with an article that says the U.S. is the largest funding source to the Taliban in Afghanistan. And that's actually not true. They're actually the second largest funder, because the Taliban gets most of its money from the poppy fields. And that's why you can go on YouTube and different places and see pictures and videos of U.S. soldiers guarding the poppy fields, because the pharmaceutical companies, they wanted it for themselves. And you know what I'm saying? So, the Taliban and them, they were kind of fighting back and forth. You know what I'm saying? That's not the only thing that they were fighting for, but that had something to do with it, a whole lot. All right. So, right, moving on to the meat of why I even made this entire video. And this is just to get you guys to pay attention of what is going on in Afghanistan as far as how it affects the people. All right. And the main reason that these folks are storming the airports and stuff like that is because the government was providing a service for them, and then they took it away. No different than food stamps or any government, subsidies or funding or aid, stuff like that. They took it away, and almost immediately the Taliban was able to run the president out of his office. The dude straight up fled. or excuse me, fled. Sorry about that. And you know, these are little things that we had to look at. Like, how was these guys able to, you know, bounce back after being berated by the U.S. and all the NATO countries, you know what I'm saying, and then just almost immediately take the country back? It's because they was paying them the whole time. Like, these dudes didn't lose a beat. Like, actually, the Taliban was probably mad that the U.S. left. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, because like these dudes was like, they were making huge contracts. Like, I believe one of them was like $360 million. You know what I'm saying? So it was some ridiculous money being made over there. And like, this has been going on for like the full 20 years that we've been over there. You know what I'm saying? So for those of you that was wondering, well, like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Dudes just bounced back to take over the country. It's because they was over there living good, working, you know what I'm saying? Working good jobs. And one of the ways that they were protecting, or excuse me, making that money was protecting the driver routes for the Afghan truckers that were carrying U.S. Like weapons and food and toilet paper, stuff like that, whole bunch of supplies, you know what I mean? So like, that was the game, or so they say. But just take a look at Iraq, completely different situation, over 1 million dead, you know what I mean? With no negotiating, no none of that. So don't be fooled, you know what I'm saying, of how something like this could be happening. This is one of those what I would like to call a desired effect, not a side effect. All right. So anyways, moving on to how these things can affect us. All right. Like, once the government removes, strategically lifts up its protection and benefits, you'll start seeing stuff that we're seeing here on a small scale that a lot of people may not be paying attention to, because we're headed to where Afghanistan is, where people are trying to get the hell out of there. And if you take a look with the whole stimulus situation, they're kind of slowing up with the checks now. And like, there's people in San Francisco, like, they will storm stores in groups and like rob the store. Like, that's a trend now. And like, it's like these little things that we need to be paying attention to here about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? This is why I encourage you guys, get a passport. If you're not able to get a passport, at least have a plan to get out of the way. All right. It's very, very important, because otherwise you may be in a situation where you got to storm a plane and things of that nature. And for some of y'all got kids, you know, things of that nature. And it's not going to be, you know, as easy as you think, or as safe as you think, doing something like that. Like, because if there's somebody else that got kids, but like their husband and their parents are a little bit bigger than you, or one of them got a gun and like y'all don't, you're not going to be able to get on that particular plane, you know what I'm saying? And it could be the last one. But if you've got a plan that maybe, hey, you know, you made friends with the neighboring country, you can just walk right on across the border, you know what I mean? There's plenty of ways to skin a cat, you know what I'm saying? If you've got the means, you can private jet, got a car, things of that nature, whatever. But you just need to have some type of plan, because this is coming. And for whatever reason, Americans, I don't know. We have just been desensitized by our good fortune. I guess that's what you could call it, by not really having, you know what I'm saying, a foreign military actually come to fight and do battle where we stay at. But it doesn't have to be a foreign military. Excuse me. It doesn't have to be a foreign military to make anything like this happen. You know what I'm saying? It could be your very own, because they do it all over the country. You know what I'm saying? And if you think they won't do it to you, you need to take another look at 9/11. All right? There's a lot of innocent people die for absolutely no reason. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, a few people wanted some oil. That was it. You know what I mean? And they killed all of them people to do it. And so don't let your eyes fool you with this whole situation that's going on over there. Everything is being purposed. These guys do not waste any emotions. Biden is doing exactly what he's been told to do. And we need to recognize the fact that these people work together, and that in order for us to have the best shot, you're going to have something in place, like a plan, you know what I'm saying? Work with your community, things of that nature, because we're not going to be able to depend on these people. They keep showing us and keep showing us and keep showing us. And now the people of Afghanistan, they are storming the airports, you know what I'm saying? Because they done figured it out, like, whoa, you know what I mean? These folks done left us out to dry this whole time. We supported them, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of businesses and things of that nature. They were, you know what I'm saying? They really loved those U.S. troops, man. And, you know, really, really loved them. And then they left, you know, just like that. Going back home to their families and things of that nature. And there's something else that kind of goes along with this whole situation as far as like benefits being removed and, you know, stuff like that, is that we still got the eviction moratorium. And then on top of that, they've raised food stamps by 25%, you know what I'm saying, with those benefits. But at the same time, they've also raised the food prices. And this time next year, like, we're not going to have as much food as we did this year, because of with the drought and things of that nature, that's less coming in, you know what I'm saying? And right now we still got food going out, but there ain't, you know, none coming in. There's no rain, there's no crops, none of that. And so, like, this is going to shape up to be, you know, a similar situation, if not as extreme as a 20-year war. But as far as the way that it affects people, like people are going to be destitute, and they are going to be, you know, wishing that they could storm an airport and be able to fly out of here, you know, or like at least grow wings, you know what I'm saying? Because that eviction moratorium, it is going to get lifted. And what the news is not telling you is that every state doesn't have protections, all right? And Oregon is one of them. And if you check out some of these YouTube channels that cover like downtown Oregon and stuff like that, or excuse me, downtown Portland, man, I mean, they got people at the, was it the Skidmore fountain? Like, they use the bathroom in this thing, and folks will come right behind it and take a bath in that same fountain. You know what I'm saying? It's like they got RVs, and they'll just pull up to somebody's house and empty all of their waste out. Just, you know what I'm saying? It's like folks that ain't got to deal with that stuff just yet, like, man, you don't know what you about to get. You know what I'm saying? But folks that come from like bigger cities, they like, this stuff is going to be devastating to a whole lot of communities, man. Because like with some of these, like these homeless folks out in Portland, man, I ain't never seen nothing like it in my life. Like, I've actually stayed at a Salvation Army before, you know what I mean? And these folks is something else, man. Like, for real, like, they bold and they ungrateful as hell. Ain't got a damn thing, you know what I'm saying? Sleeping on the side of the road and look at you like you small, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, for real. So it's just that type of atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? People are going to have to get accustomed to that stuff. And it's all because of the same thing that the government has done to Afghanistan. They just took back those benefits and just watching back and seeing what is happening. And when that happens here, you know what I'm saying, especially with this eviction situation, man, if you got it, you better have one on you. That's all I'm telling you. If you got it, you better have it on you. Because, boy, anything that ain't, you know, broke down, sleeping on the side of the street, gon' really, really look like a snack. Like, for real. And they will try you. I mean, and it always be the ones you don't even think that's going to have any business be trying somebody. And they'll try you. And the most reason they do that because they don't be alone. But, you know, that's just how it is out here in Portland. But for the rest of you guys out there, man, this is just something to pay attention to. Start growing your food. Do things that's going to buy you time in a crisis situation. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you see happening across seas, ask yourself, if that happened here, what would I be able to do? Because I'm going to keep asking this question and pushing the point. Because I want as least desperate as people around me as possible. All right, straight up and down. So I hope this resonates with you guys. This the Podroast.
The Lord is a man of war, and the Lord is his name. Yeah.